the channel Litcat Stitches, and my name is Tamara. I'm coming to you with another Flosstube episode, episode number 8. It's been about 4 weeks since my last episode, and I did not intend to be gone so long, but you might be able to hear it in my voice. I got sick, and my son was sick before that because children, preschool, germs, the whole shebang. But I'm here now. My plans for today's episode, I am going to talk about my works in progress and my sort of last bit of my mayhem, which is where I worked on old whips for 3 days each, and at the end of the month, or for every new finish, I got a new start. My mayhem was pretty good. I got one finish and pretty close. I got some significant work done on some of my other projects, so I'll give you some of those stats. I am also going to announce the winner of the giveaway from last episode, which was for the Ronaldo Paralyn There Is Always chart, which was what my finish was from last time. And then I've got 4 new starts. You'll see that math doesn't add up. I should have technically had 2 new starts, but I've got 4. It's the middle of June, so, you know, it's a new start for every week that I've been away. So it's quite a bit of a long episode, and I've got several beverages here, and I will try to edit out any throat clearing that may happen. Okay. So, as I said, it was a really productive couple of weeks, and some of these works that I'll show you got work not only at the end of May, but I also brought them out again in June. And the first one I'm going to show you is Thurza Priscilla Dawes from Hemlock and Rye Stitchery. I actually started this June of last year, so it's the sort of birthday of the whip this month, and so I do plan on bringing it out again. I'm holding my Thurza in a dot dot goose bag, and Thurza is stitched on a 28 count Oaken Lugana with my own sulky conversion. So Thurza comes in is treated 2 different ways. There's an aged colorway and a sort of more vibrant back of the antique sampler colorway. And I've gotten quite a lot of work done. So this is what it looks like now. And this is what it looked like before. So I'll try and hold it maybe on this side. So you can see that I've brought the border down and that I filled in a lot of the motifs in this area here, including this tree and these little motifs. I really enjoy working on Thurza. I think that the sulky is really great to work with. It's really nice to have only one thread to worry about, and on the 28 count, it's perfect. Closer. So for Thurza, I actually didn't work on Thurza much for my mayhem. It was what I was supposed to work on when I had filmed my last Flosstube, but I was really struggling at that point with holding true to it. So it ended up getting a little bit more work right at the beginning of May. Or right at the beginning of June. Okay, the next thing I worked on is Spring Cat by Cooler Design Studios. And this is in an 805 stitcher bag. Lovely little kitties on it. So this is Spring Cat, and I have divided Spring Cat into different sections for each month. Spoiler alert, I am not keeping up with what I had originally divided. I think it's fine. It's good to have plans and it's good to have goals, but I'm not going to feel too bad when I don't meet them. So what I had worked on last time, when you last saw it, was this. So I was working on sort of this section with the nest and with the primrose. And when I pulled it out again, I worked on the bunny and started the viola. So this bunny is pretty much done, except for back stitching. There's no back stitching. You'll see I was right in the middle of working here. I have some parked threads. But the bunny was done. It's really a joy to work on. This is stitched on 28 count antique white linen. Is it linen? No, Lugana. So another even weave. Even weave's been having a bit of a moment with me. So again, a lot of fun. I have so many projects. It's I can't keep up with all my plans, but that's okay. So that was Spring Cat. And Spring Cat I did work on only in May. And I can give you a couple of stats here. I worked on Spring Cat for about 10.5 hours in May across the 3 days. And partially that's because it was over a weekend, so I was able to get some more stitchy time in. The next thing I worked on is Ronaldo Parolin's Christmas, which looks like this. And the last time you saw it, it looked like that. I am stitching this on a 40 count buttermilk by Fiber on a Whim with the called for DMC with a couple of changes, though, that are kind of in the same spirit. I was just working with what I had on hand. The one big change is that instead of the white for the snow and the snowflakes, I'm doing the DMC Diamant floss, so a little bit of sparkle. And this is what we look like now. Have a piece of Diamant here. You see I ended right in the middle. So I worked on this for 5 hours. So not as much time. It's a little bit harder during the week. I get maybe an hour, hour and a half each night. And it's great. I got these owls in and I started filling in some of the snow. And started the candles on this side, though we didn't get too far. And yeah, looking forward to pulling that out again as we're now like halfway to Christmas, I think. Which, if you weren't prepared for that information, I apologize. The next thing that I worked on is Anton Uffendel, 1835, from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This is the chart. I'm stitching this on, this is what it looked like last time, and I'm stitching this on a 40 count platinum. And I'm using Vicki Clayton Silks conversion. Oops, sorry, it's still on a stand. Oh, excuse me. Okay. And this is what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and stand up so I can talk to you about it. So I actually worked on this quite a bit. And what I did is I actually completed the border all the way around. So the border matched up. Just the line, I haven't done any of the flowers, but I was really excited to get the border complete. And then I went ahead and finished bringing over this sort of ground line and worked on this swirly. And I brought up this vase, which is the large vase of flowers here. So this one had a significant amount of work. And I found that like I was dreading the border for some reason, and then sometimes I just got into like the right frame of mind, and it just really was very quick and very easy. this one is a little challenging because it does have over 1, which on 40 count is a little hard, though I've done some of it. But what I do is just half crosses rather than full. So that was Antong, and that's in this bag, which I can't remember the bag creator. If it comes to me, I'll put it in the link below, in the description box below. And then for my last Mayhem whip, I worked on the Witchy Stitcher Cryptids, which is supposed to look like this. I started it when it was a sal, which is a mystery sal. I didn't keep up with it. It was one of the first pieces that I'd ever done on 40 count, so I was a little slow going. And this is what it looked like when you saw it last time. And this is what it looks like now, which you'll see there isn't too much done. And that's because I made a big old counting error. So the first thing I did was I brought the border across, and then I counted off of Frogman to go over to start the jackalope square. And in the jackalope square, I noticed an error down here. Where is it, on which side? It's on this side. So I have 1 extra stitch. And then I got to looking at it and I realized I had an error in the Frogman at the bottom, which I had used to count off for this. So it needs to be frogged. Frogman needs to be frogged. I don't know if it's the whole stitch. I haven't gone through and calculated if it's that whole box, but I did feel a little discouraged, and I thought that maybe the safest way to proceed would be to finish the border. So I started here in the corner, so I'm going to bring this across and I'm going to bring that down, and I'm going to count, I'm going to count accurately. And other lies I tell myself. But I'm going to try to count correctly so that I can force the other side to match up and make sure that I have a good square. Part of the reason I think I made these mistakes is because, as I said, I was a new stitcher. Well, not new stitcher, but new to 40 count. New to sort of like this mystery sal and not sort of having everything all at once. And yeah, I think these things happen, mistakes happen. So I just wanted to try and get it as squared up as I can so that when I come in from the other side, I can stitch the creatures on the far side and then do whatever kind of adjustments I need to get everything to fit. I imagine it's not the only mistakes I have, so I think stitching the border is just the smart and safe way to ensure that I can get everything in there, because I can adjust as necessary. So that put a little bit of a damper on my spirits. And I only got in about 2 hours on Cryptids, though I did get 12 hours on Antong Oofendel. So that was the end of Mayhem. There were 2 days in Mayhem where I didn't stitch. My son got sick and it kind of threw me off just a little bit, but I did make up for some of that in June. So my next whip is Halloween Wreath, which didn't get a lot of work, but the new section for June is out, and that's here. So the new section is the frog. This is in an 805 stitcher bag. I am stitching this on 28 count I always forget the name of it. Picture This Plus. Pewter. In the Called For DMC, I'm stitching it from the kit. And the only thing that's changed is that I finished the fill-in here. So I finished filling in around the sort of bubbles and everything, because it looked like this last time you saw it. So the next section has come out. I haven't started it yet. I actually went to pull it out to start today and realized that I don't have another skein of 646, which is sort of the main medium gray tone. So I need to buy another skein of that before I can work on it, which was a little disappointing, but that's okay. That's fine. There's always more time. And I think that's it for whips. Yeah, that's it for whips. I was gonna work on Christmas cat again, or winter cat, but I haven't yet. I pulled it out and everything, but I haven't worked on it. So the next thing let's talk about is the giveaway. So I finished Ronaldo Heroine. This is There's Always, which looks like this in my version. But I did a giveaway for the chart, sort of a pass the stash situation, which is here. It's a little beat up. It's definitely a used chart, though there are no markings on the inside. And I asked for I asked for you to use the keyword darkness, and the winner was Laura King, which you can see in the comment here. So thanks so much, Laura. If you can send me an email at litcatstitches@gmail.com, I'll put it in the description box below too, in case you need it. Send me your mailing address and I'll get that mailed out to you. And congratulations, thanks so much for entering. And thank you everyone for all your nice comments. It was really nice to hear from all of you. Okay, next, let's talk about my 4 new starts. So the first new start that I did was one that wasn't planned, but I have always wanted to stitch it, and that is Little House Needleworks, Home of a Needleworker 2. And I've wanted to work on this one forever, but I didn't have the flosses. And then I was like, well, it doesn't really call for that many colors, so let's just pull from stash. And I did. So this is my work in progress. You can see I started building the house, and I used mostly a Roxy Floss Co. conversion, though I did keep the Brandied Pear, which is the beautiful sort of orange gold color of the lettering. And I didn't have a good green that I liked that was sort of in the right family, so I switched to a Color and Cotton Mandolin, which is here. But I'm happy to share the conversion with you if you want. But this is my whip. This is on a 40 count piece of vintage country mocha. And it's a lot of fun. I really am enjoying building the house, and I think the colors look good. So that is a lot of fun. The next whip that I started is from Lola Crow Cross Stitch, and that is the Victorian Greenhouse Cell, which has 4 parts out now. So this is what it's supposed to look like. As of right now, it's another mystery cell. I did start it right at the beginning of June. This was sort of my June start. And then I realized that I didn't like the fabric I had started it on, which originally I had chose a gray Perman Witchelt linen, which was really stiff and not a lot of fun to work with. So scrap that plan, let it sit for about a week. And I was in the Facebook group and I just kept seeing everyone's beautiful, beautiful whips. And I said, no, I really want to stitch it. So I pulled out this piece of fabric, which is a 28 count piece of hand dyed by Rwanda. There wasn't a colorway name on it, so I'm not sure if it's one of a kind. Just pull this over. And so I've started, and you'll see that I've got this first cactus. I've got the owlin, though he doesn't have all his stitches or his back stitching. Half of this cactus is done. I've got this beautiful flower here. And I had some doubts about the fabric, but I did ask sort of the group, the Stitchy group, what they thought of the fabric, and they thought it would look great. And I do agree. I think it's looking good. Some of the middle greens get a little lost, but so far there's enough dark green around it that I think it's okay. It's just with the called for DMC, which is here. And I think it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying stitching it. And it's in, I have a Pattern Keeper version, which is fantastic. So that's new start number 2. The third whip was planned. This is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, Castle Homecoming, which is another mystery sal. This is the first portion, which was released. And I bought the kit. So I'm stitching it on the 32 count Picture This Plus Valor with the called for floss. And this is my little start. It's been a little frustrating. I don't know why, but the frog was rampant on this piece. I had the ground in the wrong spot, and I had her hair counted incorrectly, and my stitches weren't laying neat, and I just was struggling. I think the struggles are over, so hopefully we'll be good to go. You may hear gardening being done outside. Everyone's trying to get everything done. We're supposed to have massive thunderstorms this afternoon and this weekend, so everyone is desperate to get their lawn cut. And the last start was unexpected, but there's a movement out for Stitch for Sage, which is the designer behind Night Spirit Studio, and I have always wanted to stitch this piece in particular, and I thought this was a really good chance to show some support for Sage, who's going through some medical health issues and could really just use the support of the stitching community. So I am going to stitch the Witches and Demons woodcut, which is perfect. I love woodcut art in literature and old texts. So I chose this one. And I did get a start in. I'm just using some 310, and I'm doing what Sage recommends, which is stitching 3 strands on 28 count. And this is my little itty bitty start. Not too much yet. I am stitching this on a 28 count piece of Bestitch Me in the colorway Muddy Puddles. So this is the kind of full piece. Let me try and hold it up for you. I just started this yesterday, so I think it's going to look really great. And if you'd like to support Sage, you can find the Etsy shop here or the website there. And Sage has a lot of really great stuff, really clear patterns, more woodcut varieties, and other things that are just a lot of fun. And that is it for my whips. All right, so the last thing I have to talk to you about would be haul. I do have a little bit. So I received some of my floss clubs. So I got the Color and Cotton June Club here, which they're beautiful. I got Featherweight, which is the black, Iron, Paisley, Burlap, and Embroidery Hoop. Perfect name. So I received those. I also got the NPIs in the sort of coral reef color, which are here. So 857, 623, 624, 625, and 626. Beautiful. I got the Gentle Arts Club, which is here. Oh, there's so many beautiful colors. Aged Pewter, Apricot Blush, Antique Lace, Avocado, Amethyst, Adobe, oops, Apple Cider, Autumn, Jasmine, and Hyacinth. And then the last one is the Dinky Dyes, which Easter Grass, Gerbera Daisy, Forget Me Not, Harvest, which is beautiful. I'm really looking forward to that variegation, and Grasshopper. So a lot of beautiful threads that I'm looking forward to adding to my stash. I bought a chart by Kathy Barrick. So I have some of the other birds that Kathy Barrick does, but I didn't have this one. So I bought Gerald, which is beautiful. I'm looking forward to starting Gerald, or maybe one of the other ones soon. The birds are they're all pretty big, and they're not full coverage, but definitely dense. And this one's 192 high by 140 wide, so a little big. And then the last thing I got was the My Necessity kit from Shaded Stitchery in collaboration with Evertote and Roxy Floss Co. And this is the bag that I chose. And it comes with the floss, not the fabric. I didn't buy the fabric. So this is the floss pack, which gorgeous. And Evertote, you always get like the little bag. So I don't know when I'll start that one. I've seen some people working on it, and it's really beautiful. So maybe soon. But I have to pick my fabric out, which, you know, I have a lot of good neutrals, so. All right, I think that's it. I think that's enough. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode, and if you're a returning viewer, thanks so much for watching and commenting. I love hearing from you all, and if you have a floss tube, let me know. Put your link below, and I'd be happy to check out your channel. I'm always on the lookout for new floss tubes that I can watch. And if you're new, thanks so much. Happy to have you here. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Probably not till after the holiday, the July 4th holiday here in the United States, as you know, kids are out of school and I'm on vacation. Not that I'm doing anything, just hanging around except stitching. So hopefully after the 4th I'll have quite a bit to show you. So I'm off for a whole week. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. If there's anything I didn't mention that you would love to know, please just reach out. Always happy to give the information out. All right, take care everyone, and I'll see you next time. Happy stitching.